You are listening to a programme from BBC Radio 4.
Bishop Tom Butler. Morning, Bishop.
Good morning. A couple of years ago, I was staying with friends at their home in Washington, D.C. On the Sunday afternoon, they invited me to go with them to a tea party. It was an extremely hot day, and so I went in an open-neck shirt and no jacket. On entering the house, I was disconcerted to see that all the men were wearing ties and smart suits. One fellow guest came up to me and said, "You an Australian then?" "No," I replied, "I'm British." "Oh," he said, "I thought you must be Australian, dressed like that." I was learning that Washington has its own ways of doing things and its own way of showing disapproval. The results of the presidential primaries in Iowa, whilst being early in the race, have prompted commentators to expect ordinary Americans to register their dissatisfaction or disapproval at Washington's centre of power. Hillary Clinton greeted her close call against an elderly socialist with a sigh of relief, indicating that she'd been worried that the result might have been worse. It all must have brought back memories of 2008, when a virtually unknown Barack Obama emerged from nowhere. It's true that Donald Trump didn't win the Republican primary, but this brash former outsider attracted the votes of 45,000 Iowans, and whilst his bandwagon might have been dented, it's by no means off the road. And the Washington establishment might have further shocks just around the corner, for it seems that ordinary Americans are grasping the opportunity to make their feelings known. Mind you, those who know Washington from the inside are sometimes equally cynical about its posturing. Richard Goodwin, speechwriter to President Kennedy, wrote, "I came to Washington thinking that it was a centre of power. I only later learnt that it's a steering wheel that's not connected to the engine. And it's the people who form and drive the engine who are now making their voices heard." Tension between those holding power in the capital and ordinary people was rife in the time of Jesus. Indeed, when Jesus, with his bunch of northerners, turned from his incredibly successful teaching and healing ministry in rural Galilee and headed for the capital, he knew that he was heading for conflict and trouble. "Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem," he cried, "killing the prophets and stoning those who are sent to you. How often would I have gathered your children together as a hen gathers her brood under her wings, and you would not." The political process, by necessity, will at times cause division, and no more so is this evident than in the heated exchanges of those who would lead. Perhaps the people of America, who seem to be polarised over the issues facing the country, are in need of such a gathering together as they seek to elect a president who can lead their nation and the world forward for the sake of us all.
And that was Thought for the Day with Bishop Tom Butler.